All right, so we should be live, ladies and gentlemen. We are live here on YouTube on Thanksgiving. Hope you guys are well fed. Hope you guys are full of turkey. Um, Hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving, sharing it with family and friends. And yeah, thought I would drop in late tonight. I'm not gonna lie, the turkey I had earlier has definitely been taking its effect. I took a little nap earlier. Before doing this stream and trying to keep myself awake. I do have a nice hot cup of coffee that I'm drinking to get some caffeine going through my system. Had a piece of pumpkin pie to go with it. Pretty good, pretty good. Nice little midnight snack. Hopefully, it'll keep me awake long enough to get through the topics that I want to get through tonight. And yeah, there's a few things that I want to talk about, and quite a few diverse topics here. Some stuff with Disney, some stuff with anime, and some stuff that's going to be dealing with the channel. So, uh, quite a diverse range of topics. And speaking of diversity, let's go ahead and jump into the first topic that I do want to get to, and that is why I am not going to pay to see Black Panther. I have not seen Black Panther, and I will not pay to see Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Um, the controversy surrounding this movie has been absolutely just dumbfounding. Um, what's been going on surrounding this film? What's been going on surrounding the promotion of this film and the way that it's been used as a divisive wedge in society, especially here on the internet. Which, let's be honest, it doesn't take that much to be divisive on the internet. But um, there was this. This was kind of the nail that broke the camel's back. I was already debating whether I wanted to see this movie or not, simply because I think the MCU has been going downhill throughout Phase Four, and I'm just tired of it. I'm just exhausted. I'm burnt out from Marvel. Um, She-Hulk was definitely one of the big contributing factors to really just making me annoyed with the MCU. Um, just at the point to where I'm just like, I don't want to pay to watch this. I don't want to waste my time watching this crap anymore. I just don't, because you got freaking She-Hulk coming out, and the way that Bruce Banner Hulk was treated in that show. And then you had that ending. Like, apparently the ending was like this huge, massive troll move, and I just no, 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 no. I've been turning on the MCU for a while now. The one shining spot, the one bit of light in the darkness for the MCU, the last couple of years has been Spider-Man: No Way Home, and that's not even a full-on MCU project. That's partly a Sony project. And that's the only thing that has really been a bright spot for Marvel throughout Phase 4. Everything else has been either lackluster at best, looking at you, Shang-Chi, or just a total cluster of just nonsense. Um, Looking at you, She-Hulk. And then you got things, that are in between, like Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, where that movie was a total mess. The movie itself was absolute madness. Um, and then you have Thor: Love and Thunder, which is just all right, more Marvel comedy and stuff. And what pisses me off, especially about Thor: Love and Thunder, was the fact that you had a good story buried in there, with Gore and his backstory and everything and his struggles and stuff. But then you got all the Marvel comedy and stuff that's played out, and it taints it. Like, it's not the worst film of the MCU Phase 4, but it's just more. It's more of the same crap, and I'm over it at this point. I'm burnt out. So when I hear about this social media influencer with hundreds of thousands of followers, because apparently being popular also makes you correct, also makes you there. There we go with that whole American um, viewpoint of, if you're popular, if you get the most votes, if you get the most people that like you, uh, then that makes you correct. You can do whatever you want. Morality, objectivity, what is right and wrong, all of that can be decided with a vote. All it does is come down to a popularity contest. Excuse me, guys. 1 second, real quick. I got to take care of something. Sorry about that, guys. I was trying to keep the dogs quiet. They're trying to make noise over in the corner. Uh, so, anyways, yeah, you got this social media influencer coming out, and like I said, hundreds of thousands of followers, as if I'm supposed to be impressed. As if that makes their opinion the truth, as if that makes their opinion right. Again, a very American idea. I tend to see in American society that we don't really move beyond the whole popularity contest, the whole contest mentality of our high school years. Um, we got this whole idea about, oh, it's all about being popular and being liked, and whatever the majority thinks is good is good. It's crap. Like, we've taken democracy and we've applied it to everything, and it's crap. It's crap. So, I don't really care about how many people like you. Like, you can have a million people, a billion people who like you, and that doesn't make you correct. That doesn't mean you're not an idiot. Um, yes, over there, the dogs are, of course, the dogs have a bad habit of knowing when I go live, and they like making noise while I'm live. So, um, yeah. Hold on. Let me. Sorry about that. Again, I do apologize. Okay, so what was I saying? So yeah, you got this social media influence on here, and she basically came out, and I mean, this. I'm so sick of this, man. I'm so sick of this. She said, instead, white people should purchase tickets to the Marvel superheroes' new movie, of course, that being Wakanda Forever, and give them to black families, according to the blogger. And it's spelled with two E's, the Lavender Lee, otherwise known as the Violet Vixen. In a video apparently shared on her TikTok, of course, it's on TikTok, the the cesspool of social media. In a video apparently shared on her TikTok page, Lavender Lee tells white people they can eventually see the movie on another weekend, but the first weekend, that's for us, black people. First of all, you don't tell me what the hell I'm going to do. All right. That's number one. No one tells me what the fuck I'm going to do when it comes to my money. All right. I will spend my money on whatever I want to, and I will spend it when I want to. If I want to spend money on this movie and I want to go see it opening weekend, which I didn't, but if I wanted to, that's my business. You're not my God. Listen, you're not my boss. You're not my king. And you sure as hell ain't my God. You don't tell me what to do. So back up, okay? Back the hell off. All right? It's not for you. It's for whoever wants to pay the money to go see the damn movie. I'm a consumer. This is capitalism. I do not like democracy when it comes to politics, but I think democracy is an absolutely beautiful thing when it comes to the free market. I think it's absolutely beautiful when it comes to the economy because I can choose, I can vote with my wallet. I can choose when and where I want to spend my money. I can choose how I want to spend my money, and that helps to determine whether something is a quality product or not. So you're not going to tell me what I'm going to spend my money on and when I'm going to spend it. That's number one. So let's actually get to what this moron said. So, and I quote, this message is to all our wimpy accomplices and hand signals, air quotes, white allies. This message is to all the people who have Black Lives Matter in their bio, Lavender Lee says in the TikTok selfie video that has her Instagram handle and the words "listen and learn" at the top. If you really want to prove to Black people that you love us and you care about us and you are down for the cause, first of all, what cause is that? Do not go see Black Panther Wakanda Forever opening weekend. You white people buy your ticket, give it to a Black person or a Black family who can't afford to go. And then you go sit in that theater in front of the doors. You make sure that every Black person in that theater can enjoy the movie in peace. You make sure that you use your body to block us from anybody who'd be coming in that theater to do us harm. So basically, you're saying that white people should be your meat shields? Excuse me? That is your job. You can go see it on another weekend. Go see it on the second or third weekend. But the first weekend, that's for us, Black people. This is a cult. This is straight up a cult. It's a cult with hierarchy, a very sick hierarchy where it's like, okay, so you white people, you're subservient to us. You be our meat shields and you die for us. That's what she's saying. This person is out of their mind. This person is absolutely out of their mind. This is a cult mentality. I mean, this is sick. This is disgusting. And again, they go on to talk about how she has over 300,000 followers on Instagram and over 7,000 followers on TikTok. She claims to be, oh God, here we go. Listen to this. She claims to be a social / education reform activist, sex positive feminist. She also says on her website that she is queer / bi, a millennial, polyamorous, whatever the hell that means, and a mother of two. Whoa, a mother of two, those poor kids. On the homepage of her website, above an image of her holding her smiling daughter, is a quote from Lavender Lee that says, "Eat the cake, have great sex, give no fucks." Oh my God. Like, she does this with her daughter. Lavender Lee also has a space on her something about donating tickets to Wakanda. I don't know. Fuck that. I'm not going to promote that shit. The national desk has attempted to reach out to Lavender Lee regarding her video. Blah 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 blah. Okay, so this person is clearly mentally ill. Most of the people that are part of this cult of woke are mentally ill, and they need to be locked up in an asylum somewhere. We used to actually do this. We used to lock people like this up in asylums to keep them out of the public square because there was an understanding that some people were so far off their rocker that they should not be taken seriously and their opinions and thoughts should not even be up for concern. So again, here now the mentally ill can just spout whatever the hell they want on the internet and people actually take it seriously. It's disturbing. It's the negative ramifications of people like this being able to spout out anything they want on society is absolutely terrible. And again, people like this, and I've heard some stuff about the movie, especially like, Namor being played by a Latino male, and like apparently like there's some claims that there's some racism there to Latinos, and I've heard some stuff about the movie itself that are pretty freaking bad that I don't want to see it. I'm not going to see it. I'm not going to pay money to see this crap. I'm just not. I'm tired of Disney. I'm tired of Marvel. I'm tired of the bull crap. I am not going to go to a film that is just going to piss me off and make me angry. I'm not going to go to a film that is supported by this woke cult, I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to spend my money. So if you guys are wondering where, like I had the Black Adam review out a couple of weeks ago. You guys are probably wondering, where the hell is the Black Panther review? Well, here's your answer. There's not going to be a Black Panther Wakanda Forever review. It's not going to happen. And the thing is, I like the original Black Panther. The original Black Panther was something that was liked by people of all races. It was a good freaking movie. That's the thing. I saw it again on TV just a couple of days ago. Good freaking movie. But then, of course, things have just gotten worse and worse and worse. The division has gotten worse. And so now they have to make every freaking thing a political statement. Everything in Phase 4 has to be either mediocre or a political statement. And here they take the continuation of the Black Panther storyline. And instead of doing what we all expected them to do, which is to honor, is to honor the Black Panther character, and to actually honor, the actor that played Black Panther, that being Chadwick Boseman. Instead of actually honoring him and honoring that character and the impact of that original film, because that original film was very impactful. Instead of actually honoring that and giving the character in universe a really good send off, we have to make it political. We have to make it woke. We have to ruin that. We can't just have it be a nice send off. It's not like, as much as I hate the Star Wars sequel trilogies, at least when it comes to, The Last Jedi and it comes to The Rise of Skywalker, at least they didn't ruin Leia's character and they didn't make it political. Like, they honored Carrie Fisher. They honored the legacy of that character. They honored that, and they didn't make it into some kind of woke feminist message. It was like, no, we're just honoring Carrie Fisher, the person. We're not going to make it political. We're not going to make it... there's enough political bullcrap in those movies, but at least in that regard, they didn't do it. And I still hold to this day that Leia is the one character... Actually, no, there's two characters from the original main cast that were not ruined. Han Solo was ruined, not because he got taken out by Kylo Ren. I actually think that's one of the best scenes in the sequel trilogy is Han Solo's death, but because they regressed his character into being a smuggler again. You could have made him into a spy for the Republic or something, but no, had to make him a smuggler again and a deadbeat dad, apparently. So they ruined Han Solo's character. And then I don't even need to bring up Luke. Of course they ruined Luke's character. The only two characters they didn't ruin from the original cast, besides the droids, I'm talking about human characters, were Leia and Lando. And I to this day, I honestly believe the only reason Lando's characters didn't get ruined is because they didn't introduce him until the final movie of the trilogy. And that's the only reason. They just didn't have time to ruin him. But at least they didn't ruin Leia. And I'll give those movies credit for that, if nothing else. Here, though, we can't just have, a film that has scenes and moments in it, that are obviously a wink and a nod to the fans. Like, hey, this is us showing our respect for Chadwick Boseman. This is our way of showing respect for what he did with the character, for the impact of the original film had, the impact that the character has had. No, we got to make it political and we got to make it woke. They just can't help themselves. This is why, with the hiring of Bob Iger and everything, this is why I'm telling you, I have no hope for Disney. I have no hope for Marvel. I have no hope for Lucasfilm. And this is why I'm not spending my money, because this thing is going downhill. It's a black hole of a catastrophe, of a catastrophic proportion. And this is why I am not going to put my money in that black hole. I am not going to put my money in something. It's a money pit. I'm not going to put my money into something that's not going to get better. I'm just not going to do it. So, no. All right. So that is why I will not see Wakanda Forever. Period. End of story. And that's all I've got to say about that. All right. So let's move on to our next story. We're sticking with the whole Disney story, but we're actually going to move on to this whole rumor. Of course, Bob Iger did come back Chapek is out. Iger is back. Some people who normally have common sense actually thinks this is a good thing. They actually think that, oh, Chapek is gone. The wokeness is gone. Iger is going to come in and clean things up. And I'm just like, you freaking idiots. You freaking idiots. What is wrong with you? No. Iger is the one that created this mess in the first place. Chapek came in, was trying to clean it up. Of course, the rot inside of Disney is so bad that he had resistance to everything he was trying to do the entire time, all along the way. And eventually, the wokies inside of the company, the cult inside of the company, were able to kick him out and bring Iger back. But Iger is the one that created this mess in the first place. The mess that Chapek was trying to clean up was created by Iger. So this idea that Iger is going to come in and clean things up, it's freaking stupid. That's dumb. He's the wokest of the woke, okay? He's just not going to do it. He's not going to be the savior that some people seem to think he will be. Like, no, dude. So, we jump onto this story now after Iger has taken over, and apparently there is like a ton of rumors going around that Apple is going to buy Disney, that Iger is getting ready to sell off Disney to Apple. And I'm going to dispel these rumors, and I'm going to explain to you very clearly why that is not the case. Red Bandit says, sorry I'm late. I was watching Wednesday on Netflix. Hey, no problem, Red Bandit. I wasn't sure if I'd get anybody in here, to be honest with you, because, it's Thanksgiving. I'm halfway here myself because the turkey is really, doing its thing. But, whatever. We're here. We're chatting. We're talking. So, yeah, Apple, this whole rumor about Apple buying Disney, and that, Iger's come back in order to prepare the company to be sold off, and that he's the deal maker, and the media is praising him and everything. They're saying, oh, like this is going to be huge and stuff. Guys, we've been down this road before. All right. I remember like 2 or 3 years ago, there was talk about Apple buying Disney. Now, let's get something clear here, okay? Yes. Could Apple buy Disney? Yes, they could. All right. Apple is worth more than Disney. Apple has enough cash on hand where they could buy Disney. Now, that being said, they probably wouldn't use their cash, their stock of. Wow. Okay. They probably wouldn't use their reserved cash in order to buy Disney, all of it to buy Disney. They probably wouldn't do that. It would probably be a combination of stocks and other financial resources that they have outside of their cash, their cash backlog, whatever you want to call it, their reserve. It would be a combination of things, very similar to what Disney did when they bought Fox. Okay. So, yes, could Apple buy Disney? Absolutely, Apple could buy Disney. Apple is just rolling in the money. Okay. So, this is not a question of if, it's not a question of can Apple buy Disney. Yeah, Apple can buy Disney, but will they buy Disney? No. And again, this rumor has popped up before. There has been rumors for quite some time that, Apple's going to buy Disney. And these rumors of Apple buying Disney pop up every so often, like every 2 years or so. There's nothing to it. There's not been anything to it before. There's nothing to it now. Now, at one point, this could have happened, legitimately could have happened. That was back when Steve Jobs was running the company. And I think it was Bob Iger himself. Like, this was years and years and years ago. I want to say it was like sometime in the period of 2000. I forget exactly when it was, but it's been a while. It was back when Steve Jobs was alive and Steve Jobs was running the company, which, by the way, rest in peace, Steve Jobs. One of the greats, definitely one of the greats. Back then, Iger and Steve Jobs, had a very close relationship. They were very good friends. And Iger even said, if Jobs was still in control of Apple, that there would have been a merger between Disney and Apple if Steve Jobs was still running the show. Obviously, he's not. So I don't think that this merger is going to ever happen. Well, you can never say never. I am 98% sure that this merger is not going to happen. Do I think Apple would love to get a hold of Disney's IPs? Oh, hell yes. Of course they would. I mean, come on. Disney has Star Wars, Disney has Marvel, um, and that's not even counting all the other stuff that Disney has, like Aliens, for example, of course, Indiana Jones, um, and of course, all their original Disney IPs, Pixar. Yes, Apple would love to get a hold of some of that stuff. Of course they would. But you have to remember, buying Disney is not just buying a media company, it's not just buying a film company. Disney is a bigger entity than just movies and films and TV shows. They sell merchandise. They have theme parks all over the world. They have freaking cruise ships. I mean, there's so much that Disney is involved in outside of the movies. And you can even make the argument that Disney's greatest profit doesn't even come from the movies, it comes from the merchandise and it comes from the theme parks. So the question you have to ask is not that could Apple buy Disney? Yeah, they could. But would they want to? And I don't think they would. I think they would love to have some of the IPs, but I don't think Apple wants to run a theme park. I don't think Apple wants to run cruise ships. That's just not in their wheelhouse. That's just not their thing. I think it would be an absolute logistical nightmare for Apple to run all that stuff. Disney has been doing, regardless of how much Disney has fallen in the last decade or so, how bad Disney has gotten, you can't deny Disney has had decades of experience with theme parks, with cruise ships, with merchandise, all this other stuff outside of movies, outside of streaming. So this whole idea that Apple's going to come in and they're going to take over and they're going to be able to run all this stuff and it's going to just run like a well-oiled machine. It's naive. I mean, it really is. If Disney was just a media company, if all Disney did was make shows and make movies and that was it, then yeah, I think that this would be a lot more likely. Because it's just about acquiring the IPs, and Apple's already got their own streaming service, so it's more of an expansion if that was the case. But again, Disney is not just a media company. Disney is not just a film company. They're so much bigger than that, and to try and take over everything that Disney is involved in, it would be an absolute logistical nightmare. And for that reason, I don't think this is happening. I think this is just another rumor, and just another crazy, typical, almost scheduled at this point, rumor of Apple buying Disney. Again, this is not the first time this rumor has come up. And it makes a lot of sense that, the rumor mill would spit this out again the same week that Iger takes the company back over. It makes a lot of sense. I can see why this is going through the rumor mill. I can see why this popped up again, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Of course, never say never, but I'm telling you right now, 98% chance this is not happening. And I think the people that are saying it's going to happen, they don't understand how much of a logistical nightmare this would be. And I don't think they're taking into consideration just how many things Disney has its hands in. I think they're just looking, I think all they're looking at is, oh, Apple's going to get Star Wars and Marvel. Cool. Yay. That could be great. Blah, 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 blah. That's exciting. And they're not taking into consideration everything else because, a lot of these people that are really pushing this idea, they probably don't visit the theme parks. They probably don't go on the cruise. They're not, they don't think about all the other stuff Disney is involved in. They just think about the movies. They just think about the streaming service, and that's, to them, that's all Disney is. But that's not all that Disney is. Disney is so much bigger. So you really would have to ask, okay, would Apple want to get involved in the theme park business? I don't think they would. There's nothing in Apple that suggests they would want to. There's been no hints from Apple that they're interested in that at all. Would Apple want to run a cruise line? Can you imagine? Come on. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. What I think is more likely, what I think you could see, and I think, now I don't, let me be clear, I don't think this is going to happen either. Because I think you would have to get these IPs that I'm about to mention. I think you'd have to pry them from Disney's cold, dead hands. But one scenario that I have seen popping up that I could see more likely being a possible scenario is that Apple could buy certain IPs from Disney. So, let's say that Disney looks at Star Wars and they say, all right, you know what? We've run this franchise into the ground. We really can't recover here. People aren't interested. People don't trust us with Star Wars anymore. Maybe we should just cut our losses. And Disney says, okay, you know what? Hey, Apple, would you like to buy the rights to Star Wars? That is much more likely. Now, I don't think it's extremely likely, but it's way more likely than Apple buying the entirety of Disney. The idea that Disney could sell off certain IPs and try and recover some money from that is much more likely than Disney selling its entire company. And honestly, I wouldn't be against that, because I think Disney needs to get back to the basics. I think Disney needs to get back to its roots. It needs to focus on animation. It needs to focus on what it's good at, which is being a traditional family value company. I think it has overextended itself. It's like the Roman Empire. It's gotten so big and it's extended so far that it's become really difficult to manage all this stuff, and it's led to a lot of problems. You really have to start asking yourself, when it comes, obviously Marvel, I would say, is still profitable at this point, just because of the legacy of the Infinity Saga. But when you look at Star Wars, you really have to ask yourself, are they making money off of Star Wars? I'm not going to say that they've lost money from the Star Wars deal or the Lucasfilm deal in general. I'm not going to say that. But when you look at how poorly received Episode 8 was, Episode 9 was, and you look at how much backlash has been against Disney and Star Wars for years and years and years, you have to start asking, are they making money from this? Are people tuning in? Are people watching? I think people have just become apathetic to Star Wars at this point. And the thing is, like, when I'm in Walmart, something I like to do is I go to the toys section, not to buy anything really. Although if I see some kind of anime figure that I like, I'll be like, you know what? Okay, what's $10? But I was in Walmart recently, and I do this most of the time I go into Walmart, unless I'm in a hurry. I'll go to the toy section, again, not to buy anything, but just to see how well certain things are selling, just to see if things are going off the shelf. And I'm not seeing that with Star Wars. A lot of the Star Wars toys that are in Walmart have been in there for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And people are just not buying it. They're just not buying it. And again, like I've actually done this. Like, it's not just my local Walmart. I've got 2 local Walmarts that I go to consistently. All right. But there's other Walmarts in the surrounding area that I will, if I have to travel further away from home for whatever reason, sometimes I'll go into the Walmarts just to check out the toy section to see how things are selling. It's the same case at every single one. People are just not buying this stuff. I honestly believe people are apathetic to it at this point. Um, so is the brand dead? Maybe. It's on life support for damn sure. And you have to wonder how much further are we away from the MCU ending up in the same situation? Because things aren't pretty over there at Marvel. Um, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. So Disney, I think, could actually look at some of this stuff and say, you know what, maybe we should sell it off. Cut our losses instead of trying to get people back, instead of trying to earn people's trust, instead of trying to rebuild that relationship with the fans of this franchise. They obviously hate us. Duh. They obviously don't like where we've taken these franchises. Maybe it's time to just cut our losses. So things like Marvel, things like Star Wars being sold off, I could see it happening. But again, I'll say it once again. Do I think it's likely to happen? No, but it's more likely than Disney selling the entirety of their company to Apple. That is not going to happen. 98% chance that's not going to happen. So again, the Apple will buy Disney rumors, toss them aside. All right. I have a better chance of a Pegasus unicorn marching into my house right now and violating me with its horn. I have more of a chance of that happening than Disney selling the entirety of its company to Apple. I'm just saying. All right. That being said, let's move on to the next story. Studio. Okay. All right. We're still good. All right. We're still live. Sorry about that, folks. Clicked on the wrong thing there. So let me get back to what I was doing. I got to share the screen again. There we go. All right, so now we move on to our next topic, and our next topic is we are moving on to the realm of anime. All right. So, Dragon Ball Super got some big news about Dragon Ball Super, and this is something I expected we would get news on for honestly quite some time. I'm surprised we didn't get it a little bit sooner than this, or excuse me, a little bit later than this actually, but I suspect I know when we're going to get an official announcement on this. So, if you guys didn't know, DBS Chronicles, which is a very reliable source on Twitter when it comes to Dragon Ball Super news, has put out a tweet that has basically stated that the anime will be back in 2023, and there is a new Dragon Ball Super movie that is in currently pre-production as well. And actually, there is another tweet that I wanted to bring up as well. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Give me 1 second. I believe it was from here it is. Yes. This is the other tweet I wanted to bring up. Actually, there's two tweets I wanted to bring up. Okay, so DBS Chronicle says that Nahiro Shitani, the character designer of Dragon Ball Super Broly, is actively involved in the production of the upcoming 2023 Dragon Ball anime. So, in case you didn't know, of course, Shitani is like one of the most respected animators over at Toei. He's done a lot of work on the One Piece anime. There's a lot of episodes in the One Piece anime that were done by Shitani that are absolutely beloved for their animation. Obviously did that really cool animation from the Broly film like you're seeing right here with Gogeta. I love this animation. God, this is so good. Like this has like that 90s gritty art style, like just the way it's drawn, the way the texture on the characters is done, the way the lines are drawn. I love it. It looks so much like the 90s stuff, but just modernized and better quality. I love the Broly art. I love it. So, um, yes, apparently Shitani is going to be involved in the Dragon Ball Super 2023 Dragon Ball anime, which has not been officially announced yet, but I think we're going to get the official announcement of this at Jump Festa. Jump Festa being at the end of December is a huge event when it comes to anime and manga, also video games, but to a lesser extent. It's mostly an anime and manga thing. And we have gotten announcements. We've gotten major announcements for Dragon Ball at Jump Festa many times before. I think that's going to also prove to be the case here, and I think we're going to get a major announcement for Dragon Ball 2023 Dragon Ball Super anime coming back at Jump Festa as well. Also, the other tweet that I wanted to bring up is Akira Toriyama, the creator of the Dragon Ball series, is involved in the production of the upcoming 2023 Dragon Ball anime. Now, some people may be confused about this. I need to clarify something because I do think some people have a misunderstanding on this. Some people believe that Akira Toriyama actually writes the story for Dragon Ball Super. That is not the case. If you look at the manga, if you look at the anime, there are some very clear differences between the different arcs. The Tournament of Power in the manga plays out differently than it does in the anime. So what actually happens is that Toriyama writes out plot points, he writes out guidelines, he writes out suggestions and a general direction as to where the plot should go. But he's not sitting there writing scripts. All right. It's just saying, hey, this is my idea for this arc. This is kind of where I want it to go. I want you to hit these major plot points. Everything else, I don't care about. So if you're wondering why there's differences between the Dragon Ball Super manga and the Dragon Ball Super anime, it's because a lot of the times the anime division interprets Toriyama's script differently, or not script, but his guidelines differently than what Toyotaro, who writes the manga, interprets it. So that's what leads to the differences. It makes Dragon Ball Super canon very confusing. I do not like it. I wish there was more discussion between the different people involved with Dragon Ball. In fact, there has been talk that there is now a Dragon Ball room, for lack of a better term, like a council, like a board of people involved working on Dragon Ball who get together and actually do discuss this stuff now. And that may be one reason why the anime is taking so long to come back, because they want to make sure when it does come back, they do it better. They do it right. Because let's be honest, the Dragon Ball Super anime definitely could have been done a lot better. But yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on here. But Toriyama is going to be involved. Again, he's not going to be writing all the episodes and stuff. That's not what's going to happen. But I think he is going to be more involved going forward. So the other tweet I wanted to bring up, Chikashi Kubota, the animation director of Dragon Ball Superhero, is actually involved in the production of the upcoming 2023 Dragon Ball anime as well. So he is the one. Now, of course, Dragon Ball Superhero had a very distinct art style, had more of the CGI 3D art style. As far as I know, Kubota, oh my God, I cannot pronounce Japanese tonight. Damn you, Turkey, for making me sleepy. Kubota was not involved with that animation style, but rather the animation style of the flashbacks. Specifically, I'm actually going to go ahead and move on to YouTube. So there we have the Broly art style, just to get a better idea of what that was like. I love this art style. Look at how fluid this is. So look at how dynamic it is. Look at the movements here. I love this art style. I would love to see this art style return for a full-blown anime. But if you're wondering what the animation style for the flashbacks in Super was like, again, let me remind you. Pull up a YouTube video here. This is what we're talking about. Again, it's traditional 2D animation. It's not the 3D CGI stuff that we got from most of the movie. This is just the animation we got in the flashback, showing like, Goku's fight against the Red Ribbon Army, the fight against Cell, all of that type of stuff. This is very, very good. Again, it's not exactly the Broly style, to be
皆さ
honest
ん
with you.
は
It's
逃
not,
れた。
but it's good. Like it's
意
very
志を継ぎ、
fluid.
の開発を密かに続けていた
It's very
再
good.
び悟空た
I
ち
mean,
に
look,
敗れ
look.
去り、
Oh my goodness. Hold on.
人造人間に改造しながらも、 再び悟
Like
空
that
たち
Super
に
Saiyan
敗れ去り、
transformation is very
自
good.
身の作った人造人間
I'm not
17
against.
号に
I'm
よ
not
って
against this type of animation either being used for a full blown anime of Dragon Ball Super. I'm not. I think we are going to get a better quality product. I think we are going to get a better quality anime, to be honest with you, when it does come back. And what I'm really hoping for here is that when it comes to Dragon Ball Super and the return of the anime, I hope that they actually decide to go the seasonal route. I know in the past, obviously, Dragon Ball has been on a weekly base, like a continuous weekly basis without end. I understand that. That's how a lot of animes are done, especially at Toei. One Piece is done in the same way. Naruto, Bleach were all done in the same way. But I'm not going to lie to you. I think that they should change it up. I think that these animes going forward should be done seasonal. Number one, it lets the manga get out ahead of the anime. And if they're going to start working closer together with Toyotaro, then I assume that the interpretations of the story between the manga and the anime are going to become a lot more similar. They're going to become much more similar. There's not going to be as much deviation. So, for example, if they bring the anime back and they start adapting the Moro arc, I expect that the Moro arc in the anime is going to be almost exactly the same as it was in the manga. So if they start doing it seasonal, that lets the manga get out ahead. That gives them, practically a year to work on the next season. They can make the animation better. They can make the pacing better. Everything can be of a higher quality if they just go the seasonal route. And I'm fine with that. I don't need it every single week constantly. All right. Give it to me in a seasonal format. All right. Like every spring, we get Dragon Ball Super Season 1, Dragon Ball Super Season 2, and the next spring, Dragon Ball Super Season 3, the next spring. I'm fine with that. I'm good with that, man. All right? Like we don't need the old format. I think the seasonal route is the way to go. I think fans will enjoy it more. I'll enjoy it more. Hell, I was watching Naruto recently, and I thought to myself, my God, all this filler, all these extra flashbacks, the same flashbacks that we've seen over and over and over. And obviously, it was done to keep the anime from catching up with the manga. If they had just made Naruto seasonal, like let's say they had 25 episode seasons, okay? They wouldn't have had to do all that crap. It would have been so much better. And that's what I kept thinking. I was like, man, I enjoy Naruto. I love Naruto to death, but man, this would be so much better if they had done it in a seasonal format because I wouldn't have to deal with all this filler. I wouldn't have to deal with all this stuff to keep the anime from catching up with the manga, all these extra flashbacks. I mean, half of some of these episodes were flashbacks. I'm just like, oh no, like I know, all right, flashbacks to the Valley of the End, Naruto and Sasuke. Like I get it, all right, I get it. I don't need to see Naruto on the swing set as a kid for the 1500th time. I get the point. He had a bad childhood. Sasuke had a bad childhood, all right? I get it. The shared pain and blah 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 blah. I get it. So I am all for these shonen animes becoming seasonal. I am all for it. I think it would be so much better, and I'm really hoping when Dragon Ball Super comes back, it's gonna be seasonal. But yeah, Dragon Ball Super is definitely coming back in 2023. Again, not entirely confirmed, but all signs point that way. And I am fully expecting that at Jump Festa in December, we are going to get a confirmation of Dragon Ball Super, the anime, coming back. Something else I need to bring up. I actually didn't have a page ready to talk about this, but I guess it is a topic that I do need to bring up. So, DBS new arc. Let me just find something here. Uh, do, 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 do. Where the hell is it? I'm surprised there was no images of this, but all right, this will work. So now we move on to the Dragon Ball Super manga. And we have a big announcement for the Dragon Ball Super manga, and that is the announcement of the next arc, which, to everyone's surprise, is not going to be the Black Frieza arc, as we all thought, given the way that the Granola arc ended. No, it is actually going to be a prequel to the Dragon Ball Super superhero movie that is going to be focusing on a teenage Trunks and a teenage Goten, where they are going to become heroes. And it seems like they're going to be taking a more of a Great Saiyaman route. So I kind of expect this arc to be. I don't think it's going to be a very long arc. Um, in fact, I think we could be done with this arc by the summer of 2023. If I'm being honest, I don't think it's going to be a very long arc at all. Maybe half a year at most. But the manga is coming back. It has been on hiatus, and we thought we were going to go into the whole Black Frieza stuff as an antagonist, but it turns out that it looks like we're actually going to be focusing on Teenage Trunks and Teenage Goten. Some people are disappointed by this, but I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of interested. Something I've been wanting Dragon Ball to do for the longest is I've been wanting them to focus on other characters besides Goku and Vegeta, because it has been the Goku and Vegeta show. Like, people want to talk about how GT stood for Goku time. Dragon Ball Super is just the Goku and Vegeta show. It's just as bad. In fact, I think it might be worse. But to be fair, they have recently started to shift focus to other characters. Obviously, Dragon Ball Super Superhero focused quite a bit on Gohan and on Piccolo, which I thought was fantastic. It's one of the reasons I really enjoyed the movie. And I'm actually, honestly, pretty okay with an arc focusing on Trunks and Goten. Finally, they decide to let them age up. Finally, they decide to let them become teenagers. And now we actually get an arc that's going to be focusing on them. I think that's pretty cool. I think it's going to be a very lighthearted arc. Again, it's a prequel to the superhero movie. And, I think this should be fun. I think we'll get to Black Frieza in due time. But I'm all right with this. I'm actually pretty cool with this. I'm pretty all right with this. I think this could be a really fun arc. So I'm down for it. I know some people are going to be mad about it. Some people were like, no, let's get to Black Frieza. We'll get to Black Frieza. All right. Don't you worry. We're going to get to Black Frieza. But I don't think it's going to be for a little while. Again, I don't think this Trunks and Goten arc will be very long. I don't think you can take a comedic arc like this in Dragon Ball and make it super, super long without fans getting really pissed off. But I would say, maybe give it about 6 months. And we'll get to the Black Frieza stuff. So I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be a nice little arc. Looking forward to it. And so Trunks and Goten, definitely characters I think need more focus, and they're going to actually get more focus. So I'm actually pretty interested to see what this new arc in the manga is going to be all about. All right. So now we're going to get to the final topic of the night, and we'll close out the stream with this. So the final topic is Bleach: A Thousand Year Blood War arc and the inconsistency of reviews. So one of the things, especially in the last week or so, that has been keeping me from putting out Bleach: Thousand Year Blood War arc episode reviews is because I can't decide I haven't been able to decide if I want to do the just live react to and review the English dub, or if I want to keep watching the Japanese version with English subtitles. And the thing is, before I thought I was going to do just the English dub because I enjoyed the dub version a lot more. I have more fun with it. But the more I think about it and the more I look about how the anime is being um, received online, I think probably reacting to and reviewing the subtitled version is probably the best route to go, because the English dub is always going to be behind. And what people really want to see is the latest plot developments, the latest, um, the latest story beats that are brought up in the latest episodes. So by the time the English dub gets caught up, it's already too late. Um, to have any sort of relevancy. So I think for the sake of relevancy, I'm going to actually switch back to the subtitled version. Again, I enjoy the English dub version more. I enjoy almost any English dub more just because it's my native language. But for the sake of relevancy, I think I am going to switch back to the Japanese subtitled version. Um, and I think yeah, I'm going to do that, and that's going to be my final decision on the matter. So what I'm going to do is, I think we're up to episode 7 or 8. What I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to, starting this weekend, I'm going to sit down and catch up with the subtitled version of the anime, and I'm going to record some live reactions and reviews. I think the last episode I did for the subtitle version was episode 4. So I've got like 3 or 4 episodes I need to catch up on. So I'm going to do that over the weekend, and I'm going to post them throughout the next week to get caught up. So that's what we're going to do. Now, I still will probably live react and review to certain English dub episodes, specifically ones that have like really big moments. So I know, for example, that Yuha and Yamamoto have started fighting in the anime. When the English dub catches up to that point, I'll probably actually do that episode as well. But I'm not going to do every episode in the English dub because it would be redundant. I'm going to pick one version, which is going to be the subtitled version for the sake of relevancy, and I'm going to stick to live reacting and reviewing that on a weekly basis. So that's what we're doing for Bleach going forward. All right, so like I said, I'm going to get caught up on that over the weekend, and I'll be putting out I'll be catching up. I'll be putting out the videos, live reacting to and reviewing the episodes throughout the next week to get caught up. All right. That being said, I think that's it. I think we're good, ladies and gentlemen. That's all the topics I could think to bring up. That's all the things I could really think to talk about this week. Obviously, the passing of Jason David Frank, and everything surrounding that is incredibly heartbreaking. He took his own life, man. I mean, it still bothers me. Like, I went back and I watched some stuff with Tommy in the Power Rangers series. I've been watching some old Power Rangers stuff this week. And to see someone like that who portrayed one of my heroes, like one of my favorite characters in fiction, period, to see them take their own life is just... there's no words. Like, I'm sitting here thinking, like, how can I describe the feeling? And there's really no words. It's just what the hell, man? Like, why this? Like, as tragic as it is, if it was a disease, even if it was something like a car accident, but to take his own life, that's not how someone's story should end. You know what I mean? That's rough. Actually, let me pull something up. I want to show you guys this. Kind of a sad note to end it on, but I saw Amy Jo Johnson, who played Kimberly in Power Rangers. I saw her reaction to this, and I want to bring this up real quick. So, Amy Jo Johnson, Jason David Frank. Oh boy. So let me get through the stupid ad. This, this was pretty bad.
Just thinking about Jason a lot. And I hope you guys are okay.
Amy Jo Johnson is grieving the loss of her friend and co-star Jason David Frank. On November 20th, a rep for Jason confirmed to multiple outlets that the actor, best known for his role as the original Green Ranger Tommy Oliver on the 90s series Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, died at age 49. His cause of death was not made public. Taking to Instagram on November 21st, Amy, who played Kimberly Hart, the original Pink Power Ranger, shares an emotional message to fans.
I know how much you all meant to him. And it's just so sad today. It's really sad.
In the tearful 17-minute video, Amy also performs music for Jason, who she says always enjoys singing, plus speaks directly to those who may be struggling with their mental health.
I hope anybody out there who's feeling depressed and sad or lost or like there's no other way, just know that there is, and please reach out for help. It's not the way.
Yes, thank you.
Following the news of Jason's passing, Amy previously shared a throwback selfie captioned, "Jace, you were beautiful and truly unique.
Absolutely.
My life just won't be the
Amy.
same without your frenetic, hilarious, caring, driven, and creative ball of energy. I will always love you, dear friend. Please rest now in peace." Jason is survived by 4 children.
Oh, those kids. Oh, those 4 children. Well, I don't know how old or young they are, but oh my God, they lost their father. That's please go watch the entire 17 minutes of Amy's condolences, her thoughts on this. It's, I mean, I've seen this 4 or 5 times already, and every time my eyes start to water, my heart breaks. I mean, that is real, honest to God emotions, right? That is heartbreak right there. I mean, these are people who played characters that I grew up really looking up to. Like, Power Rangers was huge for me growing up. And to see what has happened to Jason, to see what has happened, to see the pain reactions of his co-stars. Suicide is never the answer. Again, reach out and get help. The suicide hotline. God, just don't do it. Anybody contemplating it, God, don't do it. Look at the pain on Amy's face, man. Oh boy. Yeah. That's a very sad topic to end things on, but I just, especially Amy's reaction, like, I just can't get that out of my head. Like, just pray for his family, pray for his soul, pray for his friends like Amy. Just pray, pray, pray. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. All right. On that somber note, I think we're gonna call it a night. I'll have another live stream on the gaming channel tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Tune in, check that one out, and we're gonna be talking about some gaming and tech stuff on that one tomorrow. I'm going to go back and I'm going to take clips out of this live stream and I'm going to re-upload them as their own videos over the weekend. That's kind of what I want to do in general with this channel, is have live shows and then spread the clips out in little bite-sized chunks. So I'm going to actually experiment with this stream and tomorrow's stream to do that. Very similar to what John Campea does. So we'll see how that goes. All right. Again, just pray for that family, man. Pray for Jason's soul. Pray for Amy. Pray for Austin St. John. Pray for everybody that's involved or impacted by this. And again, if you're dealing with something like this, if you're dealing with these thoughts, depression, just reach out, please. They have a suicide hotline for a reason. Reach out. Reach out. Reach out. This is never the answer. Anyways, get some sleep, guys. I'm definitely going to be getting some sleep. I will see you guys in the morning for the gaming channel live stream. Thank you guys for tuning in. Have a good one. Be thankful. Be thankful for your life. Be thankful for your health. Be thankful for your family. If you're a person of faith like I am, be thankful for your faith. Be thankful for God. There's a Naruto song. I think it's Naruto Shippuden, opening 14, and there's a line from that song that I want to leave you guys with. And I may not be quoting it exactly, but the way it goes is, it's already a miracle being able to live and breathe at all. Don't take a single second of life for granted. Be thankful that you're here. Okay. That being said, happy Thanksgiving, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Black Friday and the Black Friday stream on the gaming channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm thankful for you guys. I really am. Thankful I'm able to put my thoughts and opinions out there. Thankful for life. Thankful for family. Thankful for so many things. You know, it's been a rough year. Lost my grandmother, but I'm thankful I know where she is and that she's happy. That she instilled goodness, godliness in us. But that being said, again, thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys had a happy Thanksgiving. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the gaming channel. Till the next one, this is Jessica James with a Z, and I'm signing out.